I thought, with Sue Bird coming in, at least this is someone that has been positive on Caitlin at times. And I think the issue with Sue Bird, though, is she has her hand kind of in so many things. And between with her podcast, where she tries to advocate for the players, but she's also an owner in the league. And now she's got the Team USA thing. And she's got all these connections and relationships she has to maintain. But at the end of the day, if it comes down to someone that went to UConn and someone that did not go to UConn, the UConn Mafia is going to stick together until...
Let's drop the filters for a moment. Team USA has somehow engineered one of the most unnecessary, fully self-inflicted disasters ever seen in women's basketball. This isn't just a slip-up. It's a full-scale collision you can't help but watch, even if you want to turn away. And here's the wild part. At the center of the entire mess is, without question, Caitlin Clark, the biggest and most influential name in the sport today. Based on multiple credible reports, she has drawn a firm, immovable line, making it absolutely clear to the decision-makers that she would outright step away from the roster if they tried to pressure her into surrendering her signature jersey number.
Number 17 at Team USA training camp on December 24th, news broke that Caitlin Clark will be taking a part in the training, which that's what we talked about at the beginning of the video. Now, this right here this came out this came out on the 24th. So these are the numbers, man. Head on over to Twitter and check this out real quick. So this is what was released right here. It says Lauren Betts. Hold on, here's the ages. Where's the number? Here we go, right here. So these are the numbers. Caitlin Clark. Let me blow this all the way up, man. I want to blow this all the way up so y'all can see this. So as y'all can see here, man, how did Caitlin Clark's number will be changed? So who's wearing 22? Or, if you guys remember, Michael Jordan wore number 45 in the Olympics. Because it don't look like no one's wearing number 22. It don't look like no one's wearing number 22.
It's becoming obvious that nobody is getting the chance to wear number 22. And lurking behind this whole spiraling situation is the legendary Sue Bird, who is now apparently scrambling in full-blown panic mode, trying to patch together this enormous problem of their own creation. But let's be honest, this damage may already be beyond repair. The controversy is snowballing by the minute, growing more chaotic with every passing hour. And the long-term fallout from this choice could reshape the sport in a lasting way. Now I'm handing this over to you. Drop your thoughts below and tell me where you stand. Would you seriously walk away from the once-in-a-lifetime honor of representing your country all because of a jersey number? Or do you think Caitlin is taking things too far? I genuinely want to hear both sides because it's becoming painfully obvious that Team USA is pushing Caitlin Clark to ditch her iconic number 22 for something entirely different.
The Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark, number 22 is the most recognizable number in women's sports right now. There's no argument to be made. There's no case to be made. Caitlin Clark, number 22, is the most recognizable number for any woman athlete in the...
So let's remove the distractions and zero in on what's really happening. Team USA basketball has reached a level of stunning self-sabotage that, honestly, I haven't seen in professional sports in ages. They singled out the very player who almost single-handedly pulled millions of fresh fans into women's basketball. The one athlete whose name carries more weight than most of the league combined. And they told her she couldn't wear the number that has become inseparable from her historic rise. Then, in a moment of unbelievable cluelessness, they acted shocked when she responded with, "All right. If that's how it is, I'm gone." Everything boiled over when a series of solid reports emerged during the December training camp, revealing that officials bluntly informed Caitlin Clark she would not be allowed to wear number 22, the same number she's held onto since she first picked up the ball as a 5-year-old.
Made it to training camp yet. We have not even made it to the December 12th Women's USA Basketball training camp yet, and they are already...
It's the number fans everywhere instantly linked to her identity. It's become just as legendary to her personal brand as 23 is to Michael Jordan. And Caitlin's reaction to this demand was reportedly sharp and unmistakable. There was zero room for confusion. If she can't arrive and wear her number, then the camp isn't happening for her. End of discussion. Full stop. And now Sue Bird, serving as Team USA's managing director, is reportedly unraveling while trying to understand how the situation spiraled this badly. And honestly, she should be concerned, because this isn't a tiny administrative mistake or a harmless scheduling hiccup. This is a full-scale 5-alarm crisis that makes the program look either shockingly incompetent or, even worse, openly disrespectful. And trust me, neither option is acceptable when you're supposed to represent the most dominant women's basketball organization on the planet.
Like Team USA is forcing Caitlin Clark to change her infamous 22 number to a new one. Guys, for this one,
here's the part that makes this situation almost laughably absurd. Number 22 wasn't even assigned. No one else at the camp was wearing it. It was completely open, untouched, and available for the player who has made it iconic. Think about that for a second. There wasn't another athlete to accommodate, no conflict to resolve, and no tribute that needed to be paid. They had a simple choice, and they willingly created this entire problem out of thin air. That decision is what transforms this from an easy fix into something that feels deliberately staged. It carries all the signs of a power move aimed at putting Caitlin in her place. And believe me, fans, media, and the entire basketball community aren't buying it. The timing couldn't be worse either. This chaos erupted right before Team USA's highly anticipated December training camp in North Carolina. What was supposed to be a massive celebration featuring rising stars like Paige Bueckers and Juju Watkins, an event designed to showcase the future of American basketball, was overshadowed by one of the most unnecessary controversies in modern sports. And all because someone in the chain of command decided that Caitlin Clark, the most recognizable figure in women's basketball, needed to be stripped of her identity for absolutely no reason. Let me make this perfectly clear. Caitlin Clark's number 22 is the single most recognizable number in women's sports right now. No debate. From brand new fans to lifelong purists, everyone knows that number belongs to her. It represents her unreal logo range shooting, her ridiculous playmaking that embarrasses elite defenders, and her relentless competitiveness that refuses to break.
Like, the team housing is between 1,000 and 3,000 per month for 5 months of the year per player. So if they're going to increase your salaries by 200, let's say you're a minimum contract player, instead of getting 60 grand.
For countless fans around the world, that number isn't just fabric and stitching. It's a symbol of excellence, a mark of everything she has built, and one of the most crucial pieces of her global identity. And Team USA looked at all of that history and significance and decided she should wear number 17 instead. 17. A number with no meaning, no legacy, and no connection to anything Caitlin has created. The only relevant thing about 17 in this situation is that it's not 22. That's it. That's the whole message. This was never about logistics. It was about authority. It was about reminding Caitlin that no matter how massive her influence becomes, the organization still wants the final word. And Caitlin's response was a clear rejection. If that's the approach, then they can make their rules without her. What makes this even more disrespectful is the recent history surrounding it. This isn't happening in isolation. Everyone remembers when Caitlin was stunningly, almost unbelievably, left off the Olympic roster, despite being the biggest draw in women's basketball and the undisputed ratings powerhouse. That decision alone sparked serious questions, and this latest situation only amplifies them.
Really matter too much what players that aren't any of them say, but it's still not a great look on the league in general. It's not a great look on the league. So Natasha Cloud posted this, and this might be the dumbest thing ever. First of all, we want team housing. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Absolutely. I would assume for hardship players, they have to allow hardship players, just like again for G League players, for two-way players, if you're calling somebody up, you have to apply housing for them. But also, like, the team housing is 1,000 between.
It made people question whether Team USA leadership even understood the cultural moment they were in. And when you place the Olympic snub next to this forced number change, it no longer feels like random decisions. It looks like a pattern meant to shrink Caitlin Clark's growing influence. Fans are connecting the dots everywhere, and the picture isn't pretty. First, she's left off the Olympics despite being the biggest global draw in women's basketball. Now she's told to give up the most important part of her brand for no reason. It's not hard to see why people think Team USA is uncomfortable with how big she's become. She's bigger than the league, bigger than the program, and whenever power shifts this quickly, certain people panic. Sue Bird is stuck in that panic. As managing director, her job should be to build relationships and elevate the program, but instead she's trying to contain a PR disaster her own organization created. Insiders say she's swinging between frustration and full-blown dread as she searches for any fix that won't make things worse. And the brutal reality she's realizing is that Caitlyn holds all the leverage. She doesn't need Team USA to validate her career. She already broke records, crushed ratings, and brought unprecedented attention and sponsorships to the sport. What does she gain by sacrificing her brand for an organization that doesn't respect it? Team USA, on the other hand, loses everything if she walks: its star, its relevance, its media coverage, and millions of fans. And the proof of the disrespect is public. The official roster lists her as number 17, while number 22 sits completely unused. They could have avoided this entire disaster. Instead, they chose it. Now they're stuck dealing with the fallout of that choice. And this whole situation exposes a much deeper issue in women's sports. Athletes being undervalued, underpaid, and treated like they should be grateful for whatever they're given. So when the most iconic player of her generation gets treated as replaceable, it only reinforces everything women athletes have been fighting against. This ties directly into the tense CBA negotiations and the threat of a league-wide lockout, driven by players who are tired of being dismissed. That's why this number fight matters. It's not about digits. It's about respect, recognition, and acknowledging that Caitlyn Clark has earned the right to draw a line. She's not being difficult. She's protecting herself in a system that has repeatedly tried to control and diminish women athletes. Some point out that stars like Aya Wilson and Cameron Brink also wear 22, but those situations have always been resolved respectfully between players. USA Basketball created a conflict that never existed, then enforced a decision that pleased no one and humiliated their biggest star. It shows they completely misread Caitlyn's value and the power she holds today. They still act like including her is a favor, not realizing the reality has flipped. She brings more value to them than they bring to her. Sue Bird is caught in the middle of outdated rules, behind-the-scenes policies, and old-school thinking about hierarchy. Yet she's the one force to defend a decision that publicly contradicts everything the organization claims to stand for. It's a no-win situation, and the truth is simple. Team USA created a problem it never needed to create. Caitlyn Clark has zero incentive to bend here, none at all. She's already proven everything there is to prove on the floor, and she gains absolutely nothing by supporting a program that's treating her like an optional piece. If USA Basketball wants her back, they have to fix the situation. And fixing it requires more than quietly swapping a jersey number behind the scenes. It means restoring her number, admitting publicly that the forced change was a serious lapse in judgment, and demonstrating through real actions, not empty statements, that they truly recognize her value to their program and to the sport as a whole. This entire mess has also fueled a much bigger conversation about athlete power in modern sports. Today's stars, especially those with massive brands and huge online influence, have more leverage than ever before. They no longer have to silently accept disrespect from organizations simply because those organizations used to control everything. If Caitlyn walks away, it sends a seismic message across all of sports. You don't have to tolerate being undervalued, even when the disrespect comes from long-standing institutions that assume they can't be challenged. What happens next is genuinely unpredictable, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Sue Bird could try to bring Caitlyn back by immediately reversing the decision and guaranteeing this kind of disrespect will never happen again. Or Caitlyn could hold firm, skip the entire camp, and force USA Basketball to confront the truth. They need her far more than she needs them. Either way, the damage to the organization's reputation is already done. They've shown the world that they were either painfully out of touch or openly dismissive, and neither option helps their image. And when you compare this moment to other legends, it becomes even clearer. No one would have asked Wayne Gretzky to give up number 99. No one would have told Michael Jordan to ditch 23. Those numbers became part of their identity because of everything they achieved wearing them. Caitlyn Clark has reached that same status. 22 is hers. Asking her to abandon it is like asking her to abandon her identity, and she's made it very clear that she won't. That's the truth. Team USA created a disaster that never needed to happen. Sue Bird is scrambling to contain it, and Caitlyn holds all the leverage, and she knows it. This story is far from finished. If you want updates as everything unfolds, make sure to stick around. But for now, I want your thoughts. What should Caitlyn do from here? Share your take below.